Alright ladies, have you ever noticed that sometimes a man will do the bare minimum for one woman and then go above and beyond for another? He plans dates, he remembers the little things, and he genuinely enjoys showing up for her. And then you sit there wondering, why wasn't he like that with me? Now, most women assume that it's because she was prettier or more compatible or simply luckier. And I want to tell you that usually that's not what's happening. What's usually happening is that she understood something about men that most women never learn. You've been taught that being a good partner means asking for very little, okay? You don't want to be needy or demanding, so you become the woman who's always saying, hey, don't worry, I've got it, or you don't have to do that today. And without realizing it, you make his life a lot easier, but you never give him the chance to become emotionally invested in yours. My name is Ismael Gomez, and today I'm going to show you why some men simply enjoy what you give them, while other ones genuinely invest in you. And I'm also going to teach you how to create the kind of dynamic where both of you are giving, investing, and caring for each other. Because sometimes the biggest mistake is not asking a man for too much, is never giving him the chance to step up and give you at all. Okay, so let's begin. Extractors versus exchangers. When it comes to relationships, I've noticed that there are two patterns that you see in men. I call them extractors and exchangers. And understanding the difference between these two is one of the most important things that you learn. But before we get into any of this, I just want you to understand that very few men are 100% extractors or 100% exchangers. Most men actually sit somewhere in the middle, which means that in most cases, the relationship itself, the connection with you, is going to bring out one side more than the other one. Okay, so now let me explain what these are. So an extractor is focused primarily on what the relationship gives him. Your attention, your affection, your body, your energy. As long as he's benefiting, everything is great. But the moment the relationship requires a serious investment from him, that's when you find out who you're dealing with, okay? Because suddenly you're going to see that now he's busy, he's overwhelmed, and you're asking for too much. Now, an extractor usually doesn't reveal himself in the beginning, because if he did, no woman would choose him, right? So he's going to tell you that you're amazing. He's going to talk about the future together. And again, you're going to see some effort at the beginning, but eventually it's just going to be empty words and very little action. Now, the exchanger approaches relationships differently. He's not asking, what can I get from her? He's asking, what can we build together? When you care for him, he wants to care for you. And when you invest, he naturally wants to invest as well, because healthy relationships are built on reciprocity. Now, here's where this gets really interesting. Like I said, most men start right in the middle, and they can drift towards becoming an extractor in the relationship, not because they're evil, but because you made extracting very easy. If you do everything and expect nothing, if you're a strong, independent woman and you never let him contribute, okay, if you keep rewarding low effort, why would he ever need to invest more? The relationship quietly teaches him that receiving is enough. So he's going to stay there, receiving, and you're going to be doing all the work. But when both people are contributing, it's going to become a lot easier for that same man to step into being an exchanger. Now, let me be clear that this doesn't mean that you can change a complete extractor. Some men are always going to take from every woman that they're with, okay? And those men don't need more opportunities, they need a goodbye. But that being said, there are many men who are willing to exchange if the relationship is built that way from the beginning. So here's what I want you to focus on. Stop paying attention to how much he says that he cares and start seeing how he responds when the relationship starts asking more of him. Because the answers can always be found in the dynamic. An extractor is always going to look for opportunities to receive, and an exchanger is always going to look for opportunities to contribute. And once you learn to recognize the difference, you're going to stop falling in love with words and start paying attention to investment. Let him be the hero. There's a phrase that I really want you to remember. I want you to burn it into your memory. More than a man wants to be seen as attractive, he wants to be seen as capable. And I want you to think about this. Quite often, you ladies spend so much energy wondering if he finds you attractive, if he finds you beautiful. But what he's really thinking about is if you find him strong, useful, and able to handle things. And like I said, without knowing it, a lot of you don't give him a chance to show up for you in the way that he wants. And let me give you an example that you're going to understand. In every single superhero movie, okay, and you know that men love watching superhero movies, right? So in the beginning, the woman is always often frustrated with the hero. She's saying, hey, why don't you spend more time with me? Why did you always have to go out and save the city, right? Why don't you open up? You always close down. And what does he do? He starts pulling away. He's restless. He wants to go do something, fight the villain, fix the city, because nagging him for closeness doesn't make him feel like a man. It makes him feel like he's failing. But then something shifts in the story. She gets in real trouble. Maybe the villain kidnaps her and she actually needs him. And suddenly this same man, Batman, Superman, whatever superhero it is, he drops everything and he goes to save her. He becomes brave, focused, alive, connected, and that is the moment that he falls in love with her. And don't think that, remember, all these movies are written by men, okay? And most men are watching it. So it's telling you how we think. Now, let me be clear, okay? Let me specify that this does not mean that you need to become helpless. It doesn't mean that you need to play dumb or pretending that you can't handle your own life. You're fully capable. That's not the point. The point is that a man bonds with you through what he gets to do for you. So he needs to know that you're fully capable, but you also let him, carry the heavy things, fix the problem, handle the situation. And it's not because you're being weak. You're giving him a way to show up for you as a man. The woman who does everything herself, who never needs anything from anyone, who insists that she got it all handled. She thinks that she's being strong, but she's quietly starving him from the one thing that makes him bond. And the last piece, the one that makes all of this stick, when he does step up, the way that you respond decides whether he ever does it again. Because most women say thank you so much and move on. Or you praise the wrong thing. You tell him that you're so strong, you're so smart, compliments about who he is, which are nice, but they're not tied to what he did for you. The praise that actually lands and bonds him to you even more is the one that connects his effort to how it made you feel. So not saying you're so strong, but actually saying this is why I like having you around. You know how to handle things. Not saying you're so smart, but actually saying you explained that in a way that I've never forgotten. See the difference? One is a label and the other one tells him that what he did for you actually had an impact. Because that's what a man is actually chasing. Not the compliment, but the proof that he had an effect on you. That he made your life better, easier, and safer. And when he feels that, he automatically starts looking for every new opportunity to do it again. Alright ladies, so I hope today's video helped you see that the goal is not to be the strong independent woman that needs no men. It's to let him invest in you and earn his place in your life. And if you want to go deeper on how to actually inspire a man to give more and to invest more, there's a video here on my channel and you can check it out. I think it's titled Men Pick the Dream Woman on a Feeling She Controls. I'm going to leave you the link up here if you want to check it out. Anyways, thank you for subscribing to my channel, and remember that for your relationships to change, you need to change, okay? Have a beautiful day.